Hey there, welcome back. Today we are outside in my fall garden. Things are starting to fade away and die back a bit in the garden, but this is actually one of my favorite times of the year. We have the ferns back there. This is the bee balm that's dying back. Got some lamb's ear here. And I actually really like it when things start to get this kind of fallish, slightly spooky fall look to the garden, when things are losing their flowers and the season is changing, and I actually get a lot of pleasure out of the fall garden. So I thought you could help me here with deadheading these marigolds. You can see how vibrant the marigolds still are. And what always amazes me about these marigolds is that these two clumps of marigolds, there's one clump here and one clump here, each came from just one little teeny tiny section of a six-pack, one little sproutling of a marigold that wasn't even flowering yet. I'll leave that one. And so when I planted them, they were just these little teeny tiny plants, and then by the end of the season, by the end of the fall, they become these giant hedges of marigold, and they smell so wonderful. Marigolds have such a beautiful scent, and I love grooming them like this because then my hands smell like marigolds for the rest of the day. So that's something that I can keep doing through the season, is finding the flowers that are spent and removing those, and these will keep going. These will keep going right up until frost, and I just love them. I think they're so gorgeous. So let me see, those looking pretty good. We also have the yuccas behind here, the Adam's needle yuccas, which I dug up and separated like I do every spring, and they are now huge again. So they bring some really nice foliage into the fall garden. And then my shadow's going to get in the way here. But I still have some petunias that are doing really, really well in this fall season. They don't mind the cooler weather. Actually, they seem to be doing a little better than they were earlier in the season. So they're a very welcoming sight right here next to our front door. And they will also keep going until the frost comes. And this is just a wildflower growing in here. I think these are called lady's fingers, I think. I can't remember, but they are really pretty as well. So that's what I love this time of year, is just kind of letting the weeds and the wild things, which are beautiful, grow in among my cultivated flowers, and makes for a beautiful mix. I think that's the catbird that's chattering in the background there. So these are the phlox. This is what's left of the phlox. And I think the phlox just look beautiful through all their phases. I love their early phase before they bloom. I love these big pink beautiful blossoms. And then I even think they look cool once they die back. They have a neat texture. And again, I think they give this kind of like cool second stage, final stage of the garden. I mean, that's part of the stage, part of the stages of growth. Dying back is a part of that. You can hear the train in the distance. And you can see that these black-eyed Susans over here are still going strong. They're another late season beauty. in the garden. Maybe we'll go see them up close in a minute. So this is what's going on here in the front part of the garden. I will bring you around so that you can see the bee balm more up close. And again, the bee balm looks beautiful when it's in bloom, but I also think its end stage seed heads are really cool. They have a neat texture and make kind of a cool sound. And I think they have a neat look to them as well. And then here are some black-eyed Susans that have kind of already died back. And a lot of ferns. Have a lot of ferns. And then the juniper, which just keeps its beautiful evergreen, bluish green hue all throughout the season. This is a little bit of late September garden for you. Okay, so now we're back up here on the garden path, and the arborvitae's bush is evergreen and lush as always. I'll show you around here where we have a lot of these wild pink flowers. I will look up for sure what they are and put a note so that you can know what they are. And this snow on the mountain, I'm not exactly sure what its official name is, but that's what we call it in my family, that I just kind of let go wild at the end of the season, and the foliage of all the daylilies that have passed. And then one of the stars in our garden in the fall are these beautiful Japanese grasses that get giant by this time of the year. And at the end of the season, they have these beautiful sprinklers on them. These beautiful, wavy sprouts of golden wheat-like bloom. Not even sure what the proper term is to call them, but they're so beautiful in the sunlight, and I love seeing them. I think they're just such a neat fall addition to the garden. Let me see if I can come down here and find one, yeah, that's close enough for you to actually see. Do a little visual with here. You can see it just looks sort of like a grain that sprouts out from the ends of these grasses. Little seed sprinklers. So I really love those and enjoy having them in the late season garden. So then also here along the path, I just kind of let everything, go wild. You can see the last of the sunflowers here. I did a short of that super tall sunflower when it was quite tall and strong. It has bent a little now, and so I may harvest the rest of those sunflowers. But I've got my herb garden out here, which I'll go over and show you. Here we've got all this beautiful foliage from the baptisia, which I think is just so pretty, and it remains well into the fall. These flowers, they have long purple flowers early in the season, but this foliage just continues to look so pretty, and I like to cut it for fall bouquets because it is really nice. And then the baptisia also forms these seed pods with these cool grayish seed pods, and I harvested a few of these to make rattles out of. This one's not rattly. Sometimes these seeds, if all the seeds haven't already fallen out of them, these make little rattles, and I've used those in videos in the past as a trigger. I'll post to a video with that so you can see what they're like, but they do make a little crispy sound. And they're also just really cool, and I think have a very Halloween-y look for a fall bouquet. So let's see, we'll come along here, and this is what's left of the hibiscus. And so the leaves have turned yellow, the flowers are gone. But again, I think these are so unique and beautiful as the plants die back. I think they they still bring a lot of beauty. These pods of the hibiscus, which still look really cool after these seed pods, after the flower has died back. Show you in there a little bit. It's really cool. So I like what these bring. And you know, a lot of people might just sort of cut all their flowers back in the fall. I like to leave them because I think they're beautiful, and they also provide a really nice winter habitat for insects that can crawl into them and kind of survive for the winter, some types of insects. And they're also really nice for the birds to be able to land on during the winter. It's nice for something to be sticking up above the snow that birds can land on. So some of this will die back long before then, but some of it will remain for the birds to enjoy. And oh, we have a few little flowers left here on the hibiscus. One little flower left here for us to enjoy. Oh, there's a little bug in there. I mean, we're really in the season now where it's quite chilly in the morning and the evening, and then during the day it still gets quite warm. So you have to have lots of different layers of clothing, and you have to be ready to adapt as the day evolves this time of year into the trees, and you can see a little bit more of things changing and evolving. It's nice and sunny right now, so it's nice to enjoy that. And I do have a few more marigolds down here. These ones along the path did not get as big as the ones in the front of the house, but their orange hue is very cheerful and very welcome in the fall garden. And I might as well bring you down here to the black-eyed Susans so that you can see them more closely. And they're really cool in all their stages too, when they are still in flower, and then when the petals fall off and they're just the heads with their green leaves left, and then their final stages of that. So yeah, I think they also look really pretty in all of their phases, and I like this fall iteration of them. Those are some wild daisies growing up in the middle of them that give a nice accent. And then back here are some more black-eyed Susans, some hostas. We might as well go over there too. Take you on a little roam through the garden so you can see the late season hostas, and their flowers have all passed. We've got these stems from their flowers, but the foliage is still quite beautiful. The leaves are lovely. They have a little morning dew on them. Yeah, so the hostas are another plant that really gives a lot of beauty all throughout the season. Yes, I hear you, catbird. I hear you over there. So, and you can see our woods down below the house are quite grown up now. Things are nice and full. We have our fire pit over here. We've had several nice campfires. We have just a little bit of wood left there under our tarp, but we have enjoyed some nice times around the fire. Might be kind of hard to see in this light, but you can see how the leaves are definitely changing and beginning to fall. Got some redness over here, some gold leaves up there. So fall is here. I am actually recording this on the official first day of fall. So happy equinox and happy new season on this wheel of the year. Okay, I'll bring you out here to the herb garden to finish up. Give you a nice close-up view of this beautiful cascade of sunflowers that we have here. Come down below a little bit They are lovely. These are 2 sunflower plants that I planted from seed this year. So I was happy that 2 of my sproutlings survived and we were able to enjoy the beautiful sunflowers. And then down here in my herb garden, I've still got sage, which is going strong. I've been harvesting this all season. You can see there's still some nice fresh leaves. I will continue to harvest that through frost time. Got some lavender over here, which I will harvest and dry to have for the winter, for tea. And also I think I'm going to dry some to use in the bath. I think that would be nice to make a little lavender bath sachet. And then my lemon balm, which I've been harvesting from all season and will continue to until frost. Earlier in the season, we had a little nest of baby bunnies in this lemon balm. So once I discovered that, I gave the bunnies some space and didn't harvest the lemon balm for a while, but it's continuing to do well. And after a couple weeks, the baby bunnies went on their way. So I'm glad it could be a home for them. Still have some chives here. The chives are one of the very first things in the spring garden, and they last well into the fall. So I will continue to harvest these as well until everything freezes. And I mean, we've got some time. I have time on my porch garden. We've got some time until things freeze. This is some Greek oregano. I think that's what it's called. We got from the farm share this year, which has quite a nice fragrance, which I've also been harvesting. I mean, pretty soon we'll get to the point where I will just harvest. This is some violet leaf, where I will harvest the rest of what is left to dry for the winter so that I can get as much out of these herbs before they die back for the winter. I'm going to try growing some herbs indoors this year. Going to bring in some of my potted plants from the porch and try some new plants inside. We'll see how that goes. You know what? I'll take you over to the deck and show you my potted herbs actually as our last stop on this tour. This smells so good, just running my hands through it. I think I will harvest some of this as soon as I'm finished this video. Here's where we just were with the oregano, and I do want to show you this beautiful wall of foliage we have along here. These are the 2 rhododendron bushes that have long since bloomed, but the foliage is beautiful. Our giant forsythia. These pink flowers here are gravel root, which just grow wild, and I let them do their thing because they're beautiful. Over here too, the spirea, and it's just this beautiful wall of green foliage. Actually, let's go see if the spirea still has some flowers on it. It might. This is goldenrod, beautiful goldenrod, which often gets maligned as an allergy source for people, but most people aren't really allergic to goldenrod. It's usually other things that are coming out this time of year, and goldenrod just gets the blame because it's the most visible. Goldenrod is actually quite medicinal. The end of the rhubarb, only the leaves are left. It's been quite a long time since there's been rhubarb on the scene. But oh yeah, look at the spirea. Wow, look how some of these leaves have turned really, really purple. This burgundy purple. Oh, you know what? No, this is the gravel root. Oh, okay, is it? No, this is still the spirea. Okay, I'm getting my plants mixed up here. But I haven't noticed before the spirea turning this deep burgundy. That's really beautiful. I like that. And then some more over here, some nice spider webs in the sunlight there. And then there are a few little flowers left. Here's one little pink spirea flower. They're so cute and spiky. I really like them. It's quite a big bush. This is a mini spirea bush that someone gave us years ago, and it's certainly not mini anymore. Here are some more petunias that are still going strong into the fall. Get rid of some of those spent flowers there. But these are my, what were these called again? Night sky petunias. And I really enjoyed them. They're beautiful speckled flowers. And here they are, still going strong well into late September. So we'll see how long they last. But I'm glad they're still here on the scene for now. Yes, but bee, I hear you buzzing. You can have the flowers. The bees are still doing their thing. And here's what I've got going on the porch here. Got some late season portulaca, which is having a little resurgence of bloom. They're looking beautiful right now. The moss roses, I love them. So they're in a nice little end of season surprise when they come back for another turn. Got quite a bit of parsley going here, so I will harvest that parsley and some tulsi here. I have a bigger pot of tulsi to the side, but just one here, tulsi basil. This geranium is still looking quite beautiful. Love these bright red blooms, and some more parsley going on over here. I just tossed a bunch of parsley seeds, extra ones that I had, in all these different pots, and they've done quite well, so I'm glad to have those to harvest. And my herbs up here in my big planter are still doing well. Got a lot of lemon thyme here. I have some of that drying inside right now. Looks like I can easily do another harvest or two of that. Got this beautiful rosemary, which I've been using all season, and I will gather for the end of the season. The basil is dying back some. It doesn't do quite as well once it gets cooler, but this lemon basil still has some potential, and then some Genovese basil up here. So we will harvest all of these. We'll make another batch of pesto. I've been making pesto and chimichurri to freeze, so that will be nice to have. Got another little cluster of marigolds here, which we can enjoy. And then this I'm excited to harvest for tea, for end of season tea drying. This is some catnip that's doing really well still. Some more tulsi basil. I've got some oregano. These are petunias that have passed. And some chocolate mint. So these are all ones that I will harvest for tea before the frost comes. This beautiful cat and kitten, which we just added to our collection this year, which I love. I think that's about what we've got going on here on the porch. And I will bring you over to show you the giant ficus, which is one of our house plants, which we will be trying to find room for in the house. We will need to bring the house plants in soon once the nights get cool. So ficus, may have to trim you back a little bit, but I'll be happy to bring you into the house again in just a few impatiens left here, a little bit of coleus from some of my spring pots. So I guess we can end things here with the ficus, a little houseplant action. Thank you for spending this time with me in the fall garden. I'm wishing you a beautiful season. Take good care of yourself. Rest well, and I will see you again soon. Let me know what part of the fall garden you enjoy the most. Take care.